another step forward. Better not be cursed.
Lord Gortash is expecting you.
If it isn't little Will, straight to your handler. And I didn't even have to whistle.
Mizora, I've had enough. You owe your life to me. Time to end the pact.
Feeling cheeky, are we? Most unbecoming. Heard about your father. The Absolute's puppet. A damned travesty, if you ask me. He's upstairs in Worm's Rock, ordaining Gortash as Archduke. A splendid party, I hear. Perfect for crashing. Go on up. We'll talk after.
Look, I'm all for Gortash, but those clankers, they don't sit right with me.
Because they do your job better than you and without complaining. It is unnerving.
Imagine where we'd be without them. The city would be overrun. They're all that's keeping this cult at bay.
He has a point. They make people feel safe, if nothing else.
Ha! You hear this? Tell my friends how safe you feel with those metal giants stamping about. You've been reading too many picture books.
Lord Gortash himself is the one pulling their strings. We're all better off for it.
That should tell you something.
Go on up. Pay Gortash a visit. A fate to remember, I guarantee.
Master Porter, I've taken the liberty of... Oh, you're not the master. Just as well.
Gortash is expecting you. Please make your way to the audience chamber. Lord Gortash is expecting you. Please make your...
Cult army on the march, killer on the loose, and Mistress Dorenbold still drags me hither and thither.
Hush! Patriarchs are upstairs. Lord Janeth could call for me at any moment.
You hear? Milady says Absolute's army's on the march. There's watchers. We'll hold the line. You best believe.
Head up, chest out. Lord Portier could descend any moment.
Lord, Archduke, God. I'll call Gortash what he wants, as long as Lord Chattershield pays me for all this waiting around.
Bruff's babbling, no time to talk.
Lord Gortash is expecting you. Please...
Sorry, these dukes are working me to the bone.
Shut your mouth.
Greetings, citizen.
You're free to explore, within reason.
Kinspeople, Baldurians, and dearest Duke Ravengard, thank you for joining me on this exceptional day.
It's him. Gortash. This is it. I can practically taste his blood from here.
My father's here, Karlak. Cool your fires. He must not come to harm.
So we bide our time. But make no mistake, That monkey is mine.
A moment, please, my friends. An old acquaintance has come to pay her respects. Please, Karlach, come and say a proper hello.
My respects? You're lucky I've agreed not to shove my boot up your...
Ah, how I've missed your colourful turns of phrase. We must catch up just as soon as I've had words with your little friend. As for you, I understand congratulations are in order. Thorm's defeat hasn't gone unnoticed. You're known for who you are and for that netherstone that you carry. The quakes are a clear warning. If nobody steps in soon, it'll free itself from the authority of the Crown. I expect it'll start with turning the Sword Coasts infected. You among them. That prism of yours won't last indefinitely. Next, the grand design. The Mind Flayer Empire reborn. If we're lucky, we'll become slaves. If we're unlucky, well, not the most thrilling of prospects, but it's a fate that can be avoided. If you and I come to an understanding, together we can still restore authority over the brain.
Of course. Gortash always did have an eye for opportunity.
There's an old wisdom. A brittle alliance can never be mended. It can only break. With Ketheric gone, Orin proved treacherous. Baal's chosen wants the Netherstones for herself. She only cares for blood. And your blood and mine are of particular interest to her. Orin changes shape faster than you and I change clothes. You know, she's tricked you before. She's targeted me as well. I'm well protected, but she's extremely good at what she does. If Orin obtains all 3 Netherstones, she'll plunge the coast into chaos and paint the city in blood. I can't let that happen. I want to lead this city to glory, not scorch its earth. I'd like to propose a pact, a divine oath sworn upon spirit and flesh. I do no harm to you, nor you to me. Furthermore, you'll have nothing to fear from my steel watch while our pact stands. Thorm's stone is yours to keep. When you slay Orin and take her stone, you bring it here, so the 3 are united once again. Together we rule Faerun as kings. No, more than kings. Gods. We rule as the Absolute.
And my father?
Your father will do whatever you command him to, like any other subject in our kingdom. What do you say? Shall we be allies?
I can detect no deceit. This alliance could serve us well. And if it does not, well, we need not honor it.
Let's be allies, said the viper to the frog.
So Ketheric was ready to betray our alliance too. I can't say it comes as a surprise, but you should know this. I initiated this plot. I brought Ketheric and Orin together to create the Absolute. They knew this would only work if we stood united and coordinated our powers. Their ambition blinded them to reason. I don't suffer the same affliction. In short, you can trust me.
Gortash's eyes blink in a consistent rhythm. He stands calmly, confidently. He fully intends to share his kingdom with you.
Perhaps a demonstration of why you need my help will motivate you to make the right decision. Your camp is compromised. One among you is an imposter, a faceless. Who, I can't say. I'd suggest a thorough investigation. You'll find I speak the truth.
An imposter? But who in the hell's...
The faceless in your camp is like a knife at your throat. Remove it quickly, or any alliance between us would be exceedingly short-lived. Even horror has a home. Find her nest and slay her there. For all its charms, Baldur's Gate has long had a cancer at its heart. A hidden temple devoted to Baal. That's where Orin became what she is, where she worshipped and schemed. And now, it's where she hides from my watchers, when she's not spilling blood in the streets. You're resourceful. I trust you'll sniff it out. If the trail goes cold, follow the bodies. First, Orin the Red, bloody dagger of Baal, causes panic in the streets through killings in the Absolute's name. Next, the threat of the Absolute's monstrous armies formed by Merkel's general, Ketheric Thor. In such circumstances, people crave strong leaders. Leaders that bring law, order, and protection. Leaders like me, Bane's unyielding hand, author of justice. You are soon to witness the people of Baldur's Gate granting me complete power over them, all out of fear of the Absolute. Next, we will declare curfew and begin infecting the masses. Our subjects will hear the voice of their absolute God. The faithful will do anything in the name of their God. Our tyranny, and we are saviors, defenders of the Sword Coast. Our loyal subjects will love us, not hate us. What comes next will be entirely their fault. Powerful connections. Let's leave it at that. More importantly, just. Now, come, be witness as I make history as the first Archduke of Baldur's Gate. You will follow me, and you will show due respect. Distinguished dukes, patriarchs, dearest Raven Guard, I will heed your call. A new chapter begins.
Enver Gortash, swearest thou by Balduran's blade to defend the citizens of Baldur's Gate from enemies within and without?
I swear.
Swearest thou true faith and fealty to the same, by word, deed, and decree, so that none may suffer?
I swear.
Gather guests. Grant ye consent? Enver Gortash, the Council appoints you Archduke of Baldur's Gate.
My friends, the Steel Watch stands ready. Let its blade fall on any who would diminish our city. And you, honored guest, will find me in my office above when you return. Do not come empty-handed.
So there you have it. Lord Enver Gortash in all his glory. What did you make of him? Yeah. Fucker always had expensive taste. I
don't know how anyone in this hall could fall for this charade. Isn't it obvious what a chancer he is?
I guess I didn't notice till it was too late either.
I wish this city, the people running it, were smarter than me. Gortash isn't their salvation. He's the monster at the gate.
Finally, a leader with some charisma. Ravengard was quite the dullard.
Moving in.
Archduke Gortash, man of the people. The right people.
An Archduke! Finally someone who can stand up to those wretched absolutists.
It's up for discussion.
What glory our city, and what glory its future.
Ravengard has not once failed this city. If he trusts Gortash, then so do I.
The Steel Watch has made an impenetrable fortress out of the Sword Coast crown jewel. I can't think of a better endorsement for Gortash than that.
Truest of souls, bathed in her light.
There is a fleeting connection. Your parasite communes with his, then falls quiet.
Father, my dearest boy, the hells have touched you, but you've come to me just as Gortash said you would. A true soul, no less. Father and son, unstoppable generals. You and your allies will usher in a new dawn. Help me. Ah, the Black Widow caught you in her web. Floric chose shadow over light. Her betrayal burned deeper than the fires of Avernus. She's been punished for her lies. Don't let her get to you.
The Duke wants to keep Floric's location a secret. Little does he know that you've already found and freed her.
What is a hero, if not an actor for the greater good? Faerun suffers in darkness. Tyr has abandoned us. Helm's Eye has strayed. But Baldur's Gate will soon burn bright, a beacon to light the heavens. Gortash and I will ignite the final spark, and that, true soul, is the greatest of goods.
No. This isn't him. This is the tadpole talking.
For a brief moment, uncertainty clouds his mind, then dissipates. The astral prism vibrates in concord.
What nonsense is this?
The prism quivers once more. Ravengard falters.
As I said, Baldur's Gate will ascend. Tyrill's first and only grand city.
First comes a vision of terror. The city of Baldur's Gate taken by lithids. But beyond the terror, there is hope. You see a beaming Ravengard presiding over the sunlit city, applauded by the people. A people at peace.
The true Ravengard is still clinging on somewhere in that mine. It might not be too late for him.
Have we finished then?
Incredible. To hear my father's voice speak those words, like a stranger wrapped in his flesh. But there's still a glimmer of him in there. calling for release. I feel it. I know it. I won't let the Absolute keep him. This is my pledge. I met her twice. The first time, I was a boy of 7 or 8, at a banquet in the Flaming Fist's honor. One look and I was smitten. Chestnut hair that flowed behind her like willow fronds, as she floated from one room to the next as if carried by clouds. The second time, Stelmane was different. Even with the aid of a cane, each step she took was a struggle. Every word she spoke took great physical effort. A stroke victim? I asked Father later. No, he said. A stroke survivor.
You sense uncertainty in Will's voice. He questions his father's explanation.
Something's always gnawed at me. At the banquet, Stelmane didn't seem to look at us, but through us. But that second time, her gaze never left me. It was steel, sharp and unyielding. It could just be my imagination, but I always felt that it was more than a stroke that had changed her. What, though? I couldn't say. Not a tragedy, a calculated cruelty. Think about it. My father was tadpoled. Stelmane is dead. The people are frightened and the council's in disarray. To exert control, you must first sow chaos. A tyrant's strategy, as father would say. These murders aren't random acts. Someone powerful is guiding the killer's hand, and the city is made weaker for it.
Dearest Karlach, I'd busy myself finding Orin if I were you. I'll still be here for any unfinished business once you've secured your camp.
That's it? That's all you have to say to me?
Were you hoping for something else? A word of wisdom? A hug?
Thanks to you, I don't hope for things anymore. I just take whatever it is I want. See you soon, motherfucker.
You most certainly will.
To protect the city, but unless he can secure the trade routes, the Absolute armies can...
Thank the living gods, Gortash is here to protect us.
Pink clary it is, my good lady. But perhaps a mint wine. My palate needs cleansing.
Let's see.
What did I tell you? A momentous occasion. I'm sure you agree.
I've had enough, Mizora. What do you want?
Your attention, little pup. Nothing more. And you'll be glad to give it. You see, Gortash has had your father relocated to the slaughter, the way I hear it.
Shit.
Your dad's good as dead, pup. And to think there's no way to save him. Or is there?
You know something.
I know enough. I'll be in your camp if you want to work something out.
Of course she'd stick her infernal nose where it doesn't belong. Of course she's dreamt up some risible scheme. By all the hounds of the hells, what is she planning? Mazora's always worth hearing out. That's what makes her so dangerous. We'll have answers soon enough. Mazora's gone to camp. We should speak with her. Until then, may my father keep safe, whatever coop he's been flown to. Whatever.
What? Except if you're a criminal, of course.
Look at you. Judging you. Don't like it.
Sorore suje, testis esto pacti me. Come, sisters, be my testament. Notum sit in beator.
Notum sit in beator.
Holy hells.
I come to bargain. The hells demand witness.
Enough, Mizora. Where is my father? How do I save him?
How else? We bargain. Sisters.
Infernos contractus te vocamus. Infernos contractus te vocamus. Infernos contractus te vocamus.
Your contract, Will. Signed in blood, forged in fire, bound in bone, but not unbreakable. A life for a life. No contract is ended without sacrifice. The cost must be paid. Will Ravengard, a choice is before you. Option 1. I show you the way to your father. I guarantee him no harm except that from you and your allies. And you pledge your soul to me and the archdevil Zariel in a pact eternal. Option 2. I break your pact and you are freed from your duty. Your father dies by his enemy's hand, and Baldur's Gate loses its greatest champion. Name your sacrifice.
Bloody Zariel! I won't let her take Will.
Silence, Karlak.
Mizora, you asshole!
Choose. Addendum F. The Absolute must be avenged for the Soulbinder's detention at Moonrise. The Soulbearer retains his gifts until such time as the Absolute is slain.
You damned wretch! Father. Do it. Break the pact.
Fiat ita. Anima ad beator.
Didn't think you had it in you. Seems my boy's all grown up. And don't go fussing about your father. You made your choice. You knew the terms. You know what? I think I'll stick around. Not for the greater good, you understand. Just for the entertainment.
With haste.
I brought my own...
Already feeling better.
Soldier, my engine. It hurts. I think this might be it. Soon. Things burning hotter than I knew it could. But look, we've just about made it to the city. That'll do me. Let's go protect it. Whatever happens after that is between me and the so-called gods. With this heat going, I can't spare the energy to think. I just want to enjoy whatever's left of this life of mine. Anyway, it could be worse. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, with who I'm meant to be with. How many people can say that?
Gods, I spent 7 years choked by Mazura's leash. And I spent 7 years hoping to break free. I never knew freedom could taste so bittersweet. I have to believe that. I'm not the Hell's puppet in life, nor its warrior in death. The blade will be guiding his own hand. But freedom will be paid in my father's blood. Tomorrow, I celebrate my gain. Today, I mourn my loss.
A moment passes. In the stillness, you find a mote of tranquility.
The Raven Guard name now lives solely with me. I will make it count for something. I signed his life away before the Hell's witnesses. It would be easier to drink the Styx down to the last drop than to alter his fate. I'd be a fool to wish otherwise. We obtain the final 2 nether stones and take back our minds. And the city from the brain.
Little Will's all grown up. I can't wait to see what trouble he gets into. Impossible. My bargain was uncommonly reasonable. A single soul for the return of Baldur's Gate's most beloved Duke. A real bargain, I should think. I never thought the legendary Blade of Frontiers would surrender his father for freedom. Not very valorous, if you ask me. But what does a mean old devil like me know about heroes? The Absolutists worked a number on me at Moonrise. And you're the best hope I've got at payback. No one crosses the Hell's Children without getting scorched. Oh, you are an inquisitive one. I'd have thought you'd figured by now. Zariel found new use for an old battle axe. The dead 3 in that bulging brain of theirs are a threat to more than this trifling city, you know. Savor her company. Who's to say when Zariel might change her mind? My mistress can be so capricious. The 9 hells of Beator. Each its own domain, each with its own archdevil to rule it. I call the first hell my home, Avernus, my mistress Zariel's realm, a torrid battleground split by the bloody waters of the Styx. How I adore it, the delicious agony of it all. The other 8, well, they are pleasures unto themselves. Perhaps I'll show you myself, if I deem you worthy. Correct. I didn't. If you must know, I was scouting the cultists on behalf of Zariel, but those cursed shadows were thick enough to fell even a half-fiend. I woke in that damned pod. It kept my body sealed and my most powerful magic silenced. But a brave, kind, benevolent soul set me free. Gallantry isn't dead, after all. Why? I'm supplying Will with every scrap of his infernal power. I've paid my dues many times over. I tell you what, when the time comes to squish that big baddie of a brain, I'll lend you a hand.
Will gave up his father to have freedom. An understandable decision. Sacrifices must be made after all. Especially if the old Duke's fall means his rise. I won't lie. The thought hardly fills me with glee. Even with my newfound advantages, he's still an incredibly powerful vampire. But he's arrogant, too. If he does hear I'm back, he'll try to take me and expose himself in the process. Then I'll be able to strike. Neither will I, darling. At least I hope you'll come along for the show. But regardless, the plan is simple. Find him. Stop him from gaining almighty power, and then really enjoy killing him.
I did not know Duke Ravengard that well, but I am sure he would not want his son to become slave to Zariel for his sake. I am sure Will knows that, but we would do well to remind him when his days grow dark. No one truly understands the weight of loss until they've worn it a while. There is no shame in sharing the load when you need to. There might be, but it's not a path I tread until we must. Let it wait until the city proper. Perhaps I'll have had a better idea by then.
The devil Mizora has made herself quite at home, hasn't she? Do make her feel as unwelcome as you can. Voss has done his duty. Now, we will do ours. We must find our way to the House of Hope and take the Orphic Hammer. When we next enter the astral prism, we will use the hammer to break Orpheus free. This hammer, could it be? Yes, yes! This is how we will free the Prince of the Comet! This is the key Voss so ardently and courageously sought. That smug shkaketh of a devil stores it at his vaunted House of Hope. Our destination is clear, our mission undeniable. We must find a way into the House of Hope and retrieve the hammer. When we next enter the astral prism, we will use it to smash Prince Orpheus out of his prison. Mother Gith, hear my promise. Your son will rise again. The Prince of the Comet will crush the Lich Queen Vlaakith and usher in the Age of Orpheus.
Will sacrificed his own father. I hope freedom from the Pact is worth it to him.
Of course.
Honestly, my heart's racing. The end's close. My parents are close. I just know it. Thank you. I'm not sure I would have ever made it this far without you. Fine. What's on your mind?
Come to bask in the glow of the moon.
Keeping very well, I hope?
Will sacrificed his own father. A hard choice, but not one that is unknown in nature. At times, a seedling must strangle the very tree that bore it, if it's to survive. I have. He speaks to me during my nightly meditations. He is well, and Oliver also. At times they are one, and at others they divide. Easier for playing, perhaps. And the land thrives also. I doubt you would recognize it. Perhaps one day, you and I can both return and see it for ourselves.
Hope you're keeping well, friend.
Fate, dost thou require a new ally? Oh.
We must claim the crown of Karsus for ourselves, before anyone else does. Time and again, Will's plight reinforces my decision not to pursue the path of a warlock. It's one thing to make such a sacrifice in the pursuit of such a pack, but to do so in order to escape one. Truly. It leaves you with nothing.
Time to press ahead. What's hiding here? I'll give it a shot.
How did you? Oh, it's you. I must have let my mind wander. Enough for you to wander in. Forgive me. I am drained. Ever since you killed Ketherick and took his netherstone, the Chosen's control of the brain has been brittle. It's rebelling against Orin and Gortash, fiercely. I suspected that when we took Ketherick's stone, the brain would begin to break free. Those brain quakes confirm that my suspicion was correct. I do not know what happens now when it receives their orders, and I do not dare guess.
You feel the Emperor's fear as if it were your own. An Elder Brain enslaved is one thing. An Elder Brain unleashed will be the end of everything.
Beautiful, isn't it? The mighty Prince Orpheus, contained in submissive slumber. Come. You may as well sit a while, now that you are here. Your company isn't unwelcome. An accurate summary. I have found myself distracted of late. I'm haunted by memories. They are relentless. I can think of nothing. No one else. Duke Stelmane, or Belin, as I knew her. I wasn't ready for her death. You thought you were my first ally. Far from it. I have long sought the allyship of others. It is the only way to succeed. Though my relationship with Belin was different from my relationship with you. In a way, but not the way you're thinking of. In life, she was my business partner, back when we ran the Knights of the Shield. A difficult task for a mind flayer. Duke Stelmane trusted me, and the city trusted her. I conceived the plot, but Belin took center stage. It was she who met with the merchants, politicians, and patriarchs. It was she who negotiated deals and signed off on agreements. Her rooms played host to the most important conversations in the city. Together, we brought order to chaos. At its height, everything that happened in that city went through the shield. Through us. I could not have done any of it without her. Just as I cannot do any of this without you. But now, she is gone. I appreciate your understanding. What I feel is deeper than superficial cures can reach. And not entirely unwelcome. Most people think that mind flayers are soulless husks who feel nothing. I am glad you are not most people. You have shown me great empathy. We are closer now. Close enough, I hope, that I can ask you to reconsider your position regarding your physical form. I know it is no easy choice for you, but we will have a far better time ridding the city of Gortash if you accept just a touch of illithidness. Not to mention the Elder Brain itself. Our chances against it greatly improve the more illithid we both are. Another quake. The brain is rebelling again. I need to focus. And so do you.
A private word would be nice.
Well met. Mind flayers are like devils. They just sport tentacles rather than wings. Clever, manipulative, exploitative. The Emperor says he's a friend. I think we'd be fools to believe him. And maybe it's true. Maybe Stelmane allied with a mind flayer and subjected the city to their political will. Or maybe he made an offer she couldn't refuse.
I brought my own...
I can't believe Will's given up his soul to Zariel. For a father he fell out with ages ago. There's such a thing as being too good. Someone ought to tell Will Ravengard.
Yes?
Ah, my favorite traveling companion.
Voss is waiting beneath the city.
Must claim the crown.
The dog wags his tail, a small bag clenched between his teeth. He gives in and surrenders his find to you. Scratch's tongue lolls.
Did you want something? If not, I'm perfectly happy to just gaze upon you a while.
Gortash has Ravengard on his side. That should tell you something. To be so silly.
Shouldn't you? Don't like it.
Hate to like it. If I were you, I'd focus on my own job and leave the Steel Watchers to theirs.
Ah! Thank you for the lift, my friend. Thank you very much indeed. Ta-ta!
By order of Lord Gortash, all livestock admitted to the city must be surrendered. All livestock is now property of the Ducal Council for the duration of the ongoing emergency. Failure to comply will result in imprisonment.
On the way here. Take that from us. My husband's still in the outer city with the few cows we have left. How am I going to tell him we have to give them up?
My herd are dairy goats. I bet they're going to slaughter them, the poor things.
Move along. I've got my hands full enough without gawkers.
Never wanted the easy path.
I told you you should have added pictures.
Oh, you? I know you. How delightful to meet in person. Though, you're shorter than I expected. My name's Estrester, journalist. I speak to the people of Baldur's Gate so our readers don't have to. I work for the greatest broadsheet in this storied city. It's my job to know who is who. I imagine you'll be becoming quite familiar with it soon. You are, after all, the star of the next Baldur's Mouth Gazette. Oh, it's not out yet. But any of the gazetteers can sell you a copy when it's printed. It's our juiciest edition in an age bound to get everyone talking about you. I bet you do. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've really said rather too much and written rather too little. Good day.
Safe for now, at least. The army of the Absolute can't be more than a few days away. Such a miserable thing. We're here now, aren't we? Building got city walls and steel watchers to get through.
Next stop, Baldur's Gate.
Hello? Does anyone want to buy a gazette? Thank you.
Still can't fathom that they hang folk in this city. Every 10 day, I write into the Baldur's Mouth.
What's up for discussion?
Thank helm we made such good time. The army of the Absolute are back. Certainly encourages a brisk pace.
The citizen is unconscious and won't be waking up anytime soon.
I don't like this. I don't like the look in some of their eyes.
Used to think those things were gonna make me feel safer. Not anymore.
As you were, citizen.
These street trash need to watch their tone. I don't tolerate disrespect.
If all these folks can just keep their shit together.
You really won't feel it. What? It's not good to bottle things up.
Come to have a go. Give it your best shot.
An air of decay hangs over the stooped beggar's form. The smell of rot, the smell of death.
Gold first. Then you can hit me. Charge too much, people hit you harder. Then they take the gold back. Besides, I've taken enough punches for free.
least this way, I get paid something. So, you having a go or not? Then move! Let someone else have a go! Changed your mind? Offered plenty. Lots of angry people in this city. No one else to take it out on. Go on. You seem like you've something pent up. So, you having a go or not? Back for more? I don't mind. So long as you're paid.
Seems simple enough.
Stormshore Tabernacle.
Well met, Oathsworn. Your faith may not be orthodox, but it's still welcome here. You have come far, I perceive. How may I serve you this day? I am Vicar Humbletoes, guardian of the Stormshore Tabernacle. I keep the peace in this sacred place and guide those in need. Here, clerics may commune with their gods, and even hear their responses, if they are so favored. I am also granted the power to provide holy resurrection through sales of revivification scrolls. Of course, my child, within limits. Behold my wares.